Hello, my name is Agnieszka Orłowska. Welcome to my channel. For those who's watching me for the first time, let me introduce myself. I'm semi-permanent makeup artist for the last 12 years and international master trainer. In my channel, I like to share with you some of my knowledge and also tips and tricks about semi-permanent makeup. And in this video, I will be talking about semi-permanent makeup eyebrows correction. And I will present to you how to do it on a model. Correction of semi-permanent makeup are an integral part of offering this service. To offer this service, technicians should be trained in that subject and also have a knowledge about the color theory. Not always semi-permanent makeup correction is possible. Sometimes better solution can be a tattoo laser procedure to remove the old tattoo. For example, if the eyebrows are thick and black, if we have pigment migration on the eyeliner, or other technician went outside the lip contour. That's the cases where better to remove the tattoo than go on it and try to correct it. It's never a good idea. Another very important thing is to explain to your client, if you of course decided to do the correction, step by step what is involved with the procedure. Don't forget that client expectations might be really high and you're the one who might help to solve the problem. So if you're not 100, maybe 95% sure, can you improve the treatment area, don't do it. So when can we do semi-permanent makeup correction? Fourth case we will discuss today is a semi-permanent makeup done by the other technician choosing the wrong color for the client. Second example could be semi-permanent makeup which is done years ago and has been changed due to sun exposure, color faded, some chemical procedures, or just client aging. And then the third one is the one that we can do within 8 weeks from the first procedure. So it's when the semi-permanent makeup eyebrows require a gentle warm up or cooler, add some color to the final result. So now let's discuss the first example. So the eyebrows were done by the other technician and client is coming back, is coming to us for the correction procedure. Basically the first question which I will ask the client is, tell me the history. So when the permanent makeup was done, so that's me how long ago, where, so I might get some information, maybe I will have an idea of the product, of the company of the pigment was used, and also basically why the client will not come back to the original technician. Most of the time it's easier if the client is coming back to the original technician, because the original technician has all the information about the product, the client history, and everything what is needed to perform the procedure. But in this case, probably when the client is coming to us, it's doesn't feel good, or for some reason technician is gone or is closed the business, to come back to her. So we have to find out as much information as is needed to do the correction procedure to the client. It's very important how long ago. So when we're talking about how long ago, that might give you an idea why the color is faded the way it is, and maybe it was a long time ago they're reddish now, or why they're bluish, or so information is the key. So you have to explain to your clients what is involved with the procedure, that maybe the one procedure is not enough, that you will have to meet more times. Everything is depend what you're dealing with. I'll be talking about that a little bit more later. Let's focus on the second example now. So the second example is when the pigment tattoo changed over the sun exposure or some chemical procedures that the clients had done, or it can be also the aging, so it's asymmetric and lines and face mimic, for example, has been changed. In that case, sometimes we might blame the other technician that used the wrong pigment if they're faded, warmer or cooler, but it's not always the reason. The reason could be also the sun exposed and the lifestyle of the client. So this is something what we don't have control of. And another thing, tattoo which has 3, 4 or 5 years old can be just by the natural process of fading that we have the strongest color from the color theory that is less. So it doesn't mean that anyone make any mistakes here. It's something what we don't have control of. The solution for this situation, it really depends. So if the color is reddish, you don't have to go on the top of it with the green base, so with the correction pigment, but you can use straight away the target color with the green base in it. The same situation if the color is cooler, maybe grayish after it's faded. You also, if it's not so strong, you don't have to use the orange base to cover and then the target pigment on the top of it, but you can use the warmer target pigment on the top of that on the first procedure. So it's really depend of the effect from previous tattoo that we working with. So the third example is the easiest, when we have to gentle retouch the color, and this is normally happening within 8 weeks from the first appointment. So let's say if you will decided that the color is a little bit too light after the first procedure, you might use one tone darker. Of course, this tone darker pigment has to be suited with the client's skin undertone, like the previous one that used on the first procedure. But remember as well that if the pigment is darker, it means it's more cooler. So sometimes using the same color twice, it will give you the darker version of it. So it's not always needed to use the tone darker pigment, but you can also use the same color twice, and that will give you fantastic results. If it's the case, or warmer the existing tattoo, or make it cooler, and make sure that you cover all previous tattoo, so it's not that some parts of it is left and you'll be able to see the difference. Have to be perfectly covered from contour to contour, or if it's hair stroke, you have to go each hair stroke individually. In the case or providing the correction procedure, it's many questions that you should answer. You should find the answer before you will make a commitment with your client. So how long ago the tattoo was done, who did it, which product was used, why the client is unhappy, why the client is not returning to the previous technician, and also what's the client expectations and what they want to achieve. This is very important questions you need to have an answer for before you will start procedure. So now let's have a look on my demonstration on the model. Okay, so let's analyze. Client eyebrows were done around 5 years ago. As we see, the result of the previous pigmentation, it's really warm, so that's mean reddish or orangey, and also is a little bit of the difference between the eyebrows regarding the shape, so asymmetric. Now let's talk about the color. To see the eyebrows reddish or sometimes cooler, like grayish, after 5 years from the previous tattooing, it's not mistake of, let's say, technician using or choosing the wrong pigment. So what's actually happening in the period of time when the tattoo was faded month by month, the strongest of the agents colors inside the pigment last. In that case, it was warm pigment used, so the red ingredient is the strongest after that period of time. Another thing to discuss is the shapes. So if they are uneven or asymmetric, it's also 5 years is a long period of time. So what's happened is our mimic is changed, our face is changing, and this is normal. Tattoo itself might also shrink and change the shape itself in the fading process. So now my plan regarding these eyebrows is, number one, I will use the powder technique. I will use the powder technique just to make sure that previous tattoo is fully covered. Creating a new shape, I will be following the rules like with the new semi-permanent makeup, but I can't forget of the previous tattoo that is on the skin, so I will make sure that everything is covered. And finally, I will choose the color which is more color based, that's mean green in that case, so just to make sure that the client will not have any of the warm reflection left after the healing process. To keep the result fresh, it's really important that the client will coming back within 2 years. That's what is recommended to do the retouch or top-up appointment, and just to make sure that the eyebrows will not be faded too much, and that is giving more warranty that the shape and color won't change. Measuring procedure rules are exactly the same like for the fresh semi-permanent makeup, but the only one thing with the correction, I need to remember that I have here old tattoo that has to be covered. So I start with the middle line. Corner from the eye is gonna be the front of my eyebrow, so exactly same rules. And as I mentioned in many times, I extend those lines so I can see everything for the whole procedure to not lose any of my points. Now Louise, would you look straight? Thank you. So corner of the nose through the pupil, that's my arch. And corner of the nose and the corner of the eye is the end of the eyebrow. And my magic wooden stick, I can mark on it and move my measure points to the other side. And I can easily check. I can see this eyebrows is a little bit longer, so that's what we dealing with the retouch. So this is normal when it coming to the corrections. Eyebrows might be slightly changed. Okay, so now what I do is simply connecting all the points together. The base of the eyebrow will be lifted around 10%. Go to the tail, top of the eyebrow, arch, back to the tail. Okay. And now I will move this drawing to the other side. So I'm drawing, but then at the end I will check the symmetry between the eyebrows. Also, I will use the concealer and transparent powder, so it will be very easy to see everything. So now is the time for concealer. I'm using really soft hand to fill it in the eyebrow. And now I will do the same on the other side. So the first I will fill in, then I will use the concealer, transparent powder, and I'll be ready to proceed. Okay, transparent powder, and I will show the client the final result of the drawing, and when the client accepts it, I'll be ready to proceed. Okay, so I will start the procedure. proper say nothing. Because I'm not, it is just showing the correction, I'm not teaching. Very interesting. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope it was informative. If you have any ideas, what would you like to know on my next videos, please comment below. And thank you so much and see you in the next video.